Group A, and who moves on to the other side of the bracket in the quarterfinals. Two teams in various states right now. One looking for Chinese honour to uphold the locals' honour, and one team in all sorts of disarray right now. There's no other word for it. They've changed rosters. They've changed in-game leaders. They've just done pretty much everything they can do right now, and they find themselves in an elimination game. It's EnVyUs versus VG.Flash Gaming. We've had a little bit of change of ourselves. We've substituted Thorin out and replaced him with a much better expert, frankly. Welcome back, Natu.
Thank you.
He's downstairs,
good,
so I'm still saying that. Now, hopefully, he can.
I mean, Darko's getting a little cranky, so it's like it's better, you know, lay him off.
It's getting late. It's almost 7 o'clock. It's almost time for bed.
Bedtime.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Tuck him in.
Yeah, indeed. What do you make of this then?
Yeah, I mean, coming into this, I was thinking actually that VG would have a fairly good chance against Envy. You know, I felt like Envy is going to be in a situation, obviously, with their roster. We don't even know what's going on with it, right? So, but looking at the games today, Envy actually looking like a team that can compete. Meanwhile, VG looking very disjointed.
Yeah, it's the other way around, isn't it?
There.
It's the other way around.
They might get cash, yes.
Yeah, they do get cash.
This is actually the map that we saw them beat SK at Star Series 16-1.
16-1.
So it's probably by far their best map, but you typically don't get to play cash when you play European teams.
Yeah, for VG though, I mean, for the Chinese teams, I've seen these teams clash on cash numerous times.
Yeah.
It's a map, along with Mirage, one of the two maps that they really seem to be favoring. So, yeah, definitely they do have a chance on that. But then Envy is also a team that has liked to play cash a lot, and they definitely can be competitive. Again, though, I think the caveat here is the fact that I feel like Envy, with this iteration, if you will, this lineup, I feel like their level of play can really vary from game to game because they've obviously not been very practiced. Yeah. So you never know what you're going to be getting.
Yeah, what I do like that Envy's going for, they're picking these maps that they can play a looser style on.
Yeah.
Like Inferno, they allow cash instead of Mirage. And then the third map, they opt for Dust 2, you know, over Train or Overpass right there. They prefer playing, like, you know, an open map that they can pug and take gunfights, which is probably what someone like Screamer and Kiyoshima want to do.
Yeah, exactly. And I like the veto of Mirage as well because it is a comfort map for VG and the Chinese teams a lot of the times. And it can get really hard on that map as well. If VG would get their thing going, it might be hard for Envy to string together rounds. So I think in that respect, like Sean was saying, you know, the map veto also is looking good for the Envy boys. Yeah,
they've got one game on the board between these two. It was back in January, E-League final qualifiers. It was a 16-13 on Inferno to Envy. It wasn't exactly the same teams, obviously, but they have got that one. So that's a little bit of history. So they've got that in the back of their mind, and they've got Inferno.
I think I remember that game, actually, because I was there. And that was the game RPK was really sick during. And everyone thought EnVyUs was going to actually lose that game because I think they went down pretty bad initially. So, yeah, that was actually a really, really good one.
I mean, my big worry for VG right now is that from the match against NIP, we saw when NIP had a game plan where on Mirage, it can be applied to other maps too, like Cash, for example, where they had a lot of mid-aggression initially. It seemed like VG just didn't have an answer. They didn't have, like, something they could call back to, like an A execute a full-blown one, or have different ways of trying to take middle, how to mitigate that issue of NIP playing so aggressively. And I feel like EnVy is going to be throwing that same at VG in this game as well. So we really do need to see VG being able to play a different style of Counter-Strike and play more together. So many times they would see them just go individually without any possibility for the trade kill. And that's never a winning way of playing.
I'd love to talk more, but I'm hearing that the players are ready and they want to get underway. So let's head back to our commentary team. Mr. Bardolph and Mr. DDK will guide you through series number 4.
We have a 4-man push through A. The game has started already, so we're going to get straight back into it. There are 5 people moving up Banana at the moment, and they're pushing through smokes, as you can see, with mixed results. The bomb's being dropped at the back, and the attacker's doing his best to hold on to it, and the cavalry is on the way. This is going to be a cowboy-esque duel shootout in the saloon. 2 versus 3 now. Kishima down to 1 HP at the back of the site, and it will be Envy fragging out in the pistol round. Now, I was going to say at the beginning that I feel like with the absence of Happy, we can finally see a different Envy. Not to say that he was the problem, but I feel like they had a very specific play style with him on the team, which ultimately was not working. Of course, at this event, it being so recent since some of these changes were made, we don't know if these are short-term or long-term changes for Envy, but we can see something new and refreshing, perhaps. I know some of the Envy players were in London. Obviously, Kishima lives in the UK. I think Scream was at the ECS finals as well. Now, I don't know if that's because Hastro was in London for the Rocket League finals. I don't know if there was some discussion amongst the players of the team. But again, we can see a new Envy, a refreshed Envy. Very early days, but we can see hopefully something different to that we've seen before.
Yeah, they probably could have gotten a better made like a better flight too, perhaps from that location to this event as well. So it makes a lot of sense. Now, like Hachi's been really good aggressively on the T side of this map for EnVyUs in the season play that we've seen. Obviously, he was the newest addition to the team. Obviously, we're not seeing Happy and RPK as mentioned, but I was pretty impressed by Haji, honestly, as someone that we hadn't really seen on the level of EnVyUs. Coming into that as a newer guy, I felt like he did pretty well. All things considered, like the lineup that he moved into being unsuccessful and having a lot of problems. I haven't heard him complain. He's the only guy that hasn't complained yet. Him and RPK. And it'll be fun to see a more carefree style of play from EnVyUs. They do definitely have a lot of skill on the team. Was Happy at Tyrants? We'll soon find out, I suppose. In the way that he ran the team. Nice push into the A-bomb sites. And indeed, things will go pretty well. The CZs have been disposed of. They've been deposed.
It's nice that we get to see a Freeman, since we might not see the one in Half-Life again. At least we get to see the one on Flash.
Yeah.
Summer and Lovey remain with the CZs, and again, it is part containment, part trying to pick up a weapon from exiting players. That is the best that they can hope for in a situation such as this. So we'll see how they do it. There's been a lot of turbulence in Chinese Counter-Strike of late. Fact ban players, a lot of roster rotations. So we look to see a more stable scene here in China. VG.Flash, one of the main teams at the moment. Of course, when we were in Malaysia for the Asian minor for a previous major, it was very telling of the local, if you will, Counter-Strike, kind of reminiscent of arcades in the 90s, where you might be the best guy at your arcade and you go to someone else's arcade and play some Street Fighter or whatever, and you realize, holy crap, there's an entirely different meta here, and you get annihilated. And I feel like that has been the early history of Chinese Counter-Strike. It was most telling in the fashion in which they played Cash, but obviously since then they've had a lot more exposure to international Counter-Strike. So again, lots of lessons to be learned. Nice tap from Kishimura in this anti-eco rounds, but hopefully the development here of Chinese Counter-Strike continues and quickly.
Yeah, it's definitely difficult without the practice pool, but also precedent for making it work regardless.
It was really interesting to hear that Tai Lu communicating in English with a Chinese-ish team. I think there might have been some other countries there as well, but it's very curious. Was it was it Peacemaker who was their coach? I guess it was maybe
I believe so, yeah.
Residual from that time. And perhaps long term, if they're looking to get more coaches in from the West, then it will pay off for that reason. I can't imagine another reason why they would continue to communicate in English.
Yeah, it's definitely a big barrier of access. I think I brought this point up before, that one of the issues with the difficulty of developing your understanding of the game and of a region is that, let's say if you're Fallen, if you're the Brazilians, right, they have access to a huge amount of material. Like, there's a huge cross-pollination of information because you understand English. And if you're in a region that doesn't have like a strong scene, there's all this information out there that you're just missing because you don't understand the language that's spoken in the sort of the language of Counter-Strike is generally English, the universal language of Counter-Strike. So I like that. That's definitely going to go a good way for them, I hope. But we're into the first proper buy round now as we see VG on those M4s, and they're taking it pretty passively to begin with, which is fine. They don't have an enormous amount of utility to exchange. And so I see a shocking go back.
It's interesting because I think it's easy to criticize a Chinese team communicating in English, but I think it shows dedication to the cause, and also I think if they're observing other like FPL and so on, it helps them better understand what's going on if they are communicating in the same language. Smokes have dissipated on Banana. Now the round will continue in that direction. EnVy need to clear out the top of Banana, make sure there's no nonsense around the sandbag position. You see some Molotovs, the flashbang behind the sandbags. That flashbang is so good because if anyone's holding an angle anywhere near Banana from around that corner where they Molotoved, it will blind those people as well. If you're on Banana, there's a window on the back wall, and if you do a running throw to the right of the window, from most positions it will land behind the sandbag. It's pretty simple to throw, so definitely pick it up. As we can see, EnVy have taken Arch. They know where one of the CTs are. Got to be careful of a potential pop flash. They're just going for the jewels though, EnVy. Not going to get anything done, and Summer will retreat back to the site.
EnVy is starting to encroach. They still have a split alive. There's one player coming from the library side, so that's good. Smokes in. Attacker able to defend pretty effectively, and there is the next frag. We know him to be pretty beast individually, and there's not all that much XMS can do in the end. So a pretty basic, pretty standard round of Inferno playing out there, and we see EnVy is unable to finish the job, and they do have enough money to go back to.
I think we can see some growing pains from EnVy here, because I feel like if this roster was a more drilled and practiced team, then that execute wouldn't be so stoppy-starty. But I think because they're having to do a lot of it on the fly, it's a lot slower than it otherwise might be, so the timings are a bit off and make it simpler for Flash to deal with.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely the timing didn't look perfect on the coordination of the split. Okay, here we go. We're seeing some aggressive utility usage here from VG. That's good. That's really good. And they're going to go for the challenge here. This is how you want to do it. And they actually have 3 players there still, so you know, really committing into that one. And EnVyUs understand this. I like this. They made the call. They understand that 3 players with Banana, they want to abuse that fact. They're going fast through quad. Scream will annihilate Attacker, opening up Threeman to the 2v1, which he will not be able to stop. And a great smoke to make life a little bit more difficult. Still a gap for someone to play with, but he's going to get Molotov'd out of position. Well played by EnVyUs.
Still around to fight for. Lovely's in a very strong position. Easily avoids the flashbang. Oh, okay. That was a crazy escape to victory. A really awkward spot for EnVy.
Oh, no.
Oh, my God.
No.
So you see there was some gamble there. They did not expect the CT on short to be ahead of that flashbang and went for a gamble play. They were lucky to get the bomb onto the site in the first place. But again, I think at this stage of this EnVy roster, we can't be too judgmental as to what they're doing, because there's going to be a lot of issues, and they're going to have to be putting bandages on a lot of wounds for the time being before they can heal later on.
I'm pretty sure the guy who had the bomb, didn't realize, then went up to apartments, and it was like, oh God, I had the bomb, and then went back down to apartments in a spot where he needs to be, like, bomb should be ticking away, and he should be holding angles. That's pretty brutal, man.
Yeah, that's interesting.
That is really rough, because they had a free bomb site. They made the perfect call.
It's still early on, so I mean there is time to plug some holes, but some holes may be too big for a plug to fit. Might have to put a leg in there, I don't know, and drown in the process.
Get eaten off by a shark. Okay. Pistols for EnVyUs, not too much to expect here. It's just always very sad, because you see how they played that round out. They really recognized very quickly that VG had 3 people pressuring Banana, and they immediately made the They immediately made the call to hit A. It was so perfect how they opened up that round. It's a really good reactive play. I wonder if will Scream be able to do much more here. Kiyoshima and XMS will be lost, and the Deagle for Scream is not going to find anything else, it seems. There comes the push, and VG happy to be aggressive over by Banana, which is good to see.
I can hear the Chinese commentators popping off, so I really hope they get some home crowds, some home crowd teams in the LAN area. That'll be really interesting to listen to. Haji alone, 20 seconds, and the bomb is in the middle of mid, so it's a question of damage, and the question has been erased by the markers of Flash, surviving with 3 players. They look comfortable for the time being, but again, I think some interesting things, especially from a coach perspective, is like you've seen some colossal problems at the beginning of this map for EnVy, but you can still find positives in the sense that the beginning of the match, beginning of the map, these are the best times for them to make these mistakes. If they make these mistakes towards the end of a map, maybe they're fatal, but there's time for them to say, okay, this is the problem we had here. Let's try to avoid this in the future. It's only 3-3. We got rounds. Let's do this. See, Kishima has, I think he had paws on his gloves. And maybe he has a dog, I don't know. Can't see now, he's holding the AK. That was interesting. Summer on the AWP, the one sniper rifle in the game at the moment. You can see he's kept space open to look towards Boiler as well, because his teammates towards Shorts are slightly further back. So he's got 2 jobs to deal with for the time being.
EnVyUs looking like they want to commit into the A site, really. There's no presence towards Banana. They've been denied by the smoke, and they're deciding not to challenge it. And finally, VG will cheat a player away from B to A, and that is a beautiful preemptive peek coming in from Hadji. Peeks like that maybe really taking EnVyUs straight into this bomb site here, because that's going to queue up the push. They're going to do a double man drop into the pit position. Sprays will be exchanged. And it looks like it's going to go quite well for EnVyUs there. Very nice frag through the smoke from Scream, and that's going to tip things in a very EnVyUs favored direction here.
The bomb is in the pit. I think Scream may have thought it was on the balcony because of the radar. But that's given Flash more time for Lovey to get into a position of his choosing. Now, he's chosen the arch position. From this angle, he has to assume that someone is going to be in the pit position, which means that he is very likely to get insta-traded. He's going to pick up the AWP, and he quickly gets out of there. From this position, if somebody were to chase him, he could take a shot and then continue to fall back. Notice how now he's in a safe position. He's walking away. He's not running away. A common mistake for people at home might make is to run away there. But if he's heard by these players, they'll just hunt him immediately. So if he quietly backs off, he could still be scoped in that position, and that would be dangerous for Envy. They don't have much money themselves, so they may not want to invest him if they can avoid, chase him, and potentially lose weapons if they can avoid it. So there we go. Flash holds on to the sniper rifle, and his team, let's see, Lovey can buy, Attacker can buy. We'll find out if they do. Yeah, they are going to buy around this AWP. I've got my laptop in front of me, so. Orb back onto Summer. What kind of spawn does he have? Doesn't have the best spawn in the world.
So EnVyUs, they have just to not make any crazy mistakes, and they're in a spot where they can break the money, get the reset, get those ecos in, or those anti-ecos in, and be off once again. But Summer peeking down middle, delayed timing.
I did wonder if this was coming. If he estimates that they won't have a sniper rifle, it's a lot safer than it normally is. 2 CTs hunting over the smoke. Are they going to re-smoke this position? Shoking has gone back to re-smoke it, I think. No, it's a flashbang actually for Lovey to have a look. So Lovey and Shoking. Shoking does have a smoke grenade in the hole. He might not have the position to deploy it. Lovey throws the flash, but the T's are ahead of it already, and Lovey and Shoking gets taken out. Maybe a bit greedy, not deploying that second smoke grenade. And now they've conceded the site, and this is surely a safe situation.
Indeed, they will make their way backwards. Get that save going for themselves. And, oh, hello. XMS able to take down Attacker. That's actually a really big win for EnVyUs. It's not likely they'll find any other kills here. Summer is going a little bit aggressive, though, so maybe that could be a possibility. Sixer will be moving forwards on the hunt, knowing that the players are in proximity to him. Freeman looking for headshot angles there. By the boiler position, XMS creeps further and further forwards. Summer waiting with the AWP. Will XMS be able to find the frag? No, Summer ready, and they're waiting. So again, keeping these guns alive, really important. Freeman holding on to the AK as well, so nice little upgrade for him. And they will be good to go. Ooh, ooh, oh, hello, and goodbye AWP. That is a gorgeous frag from Hadji right at the end. What a great read of the positioning. Right around the corner.
Nice.
Denied. Absolutely denied. That goes a really long way as well. Like an AK and an AWP in the right place. That is a very scary reality. So EnVyUs are going to make their lives much easier now because of that. Haji needs a pat on the back for that one. We do have a timeout at the moment. So tactical from VG Gaming. VG Gaming and Flash, VG and Flash. There's a merger, James. They're the merger.
The Transformers have come together to make a mega sword. Do they have the sword, though, to slice through the likes of Envy? That is the question. Sixer on the Mac 10. He smells weakness. He'll seek it out. He wants to make some cash. Freeman with all the grenades and the AK-47, the only rifle, the only primary weapon in this round for Flash. All 5 plays of Envy towards B, looking to use the numbers game and break these plays. Sixer advancing through the Molotov. Smoke is down, gets a kill regardless. Lovely on the boost position. Only with the USP though. The AK is still in the field for VG. And now it's time to think about saving. So Freeman is in CT spawn. I think he needs to back off. It's not quite an AWP. And yeah, he will start to run for it. Again, he wants to use Attacker as the human shield and hold on to this AK-47. We're looking at round number 6 for NV. So again, maybe we won't see any more horrors for them here on Inferno. And if that's the case, then indeed it is better that they had those at the start rather than at the end.
Yeah, they have some good basics going on at the moment, and hopefully for them, they can continue in that fashion. I think one thing for EnVyUs is that the lineup has been through so much, and the players have been through so much when it comes to just mostly struggling with having a dynamic that works, struggling with a general negative temperament in the team. Like that's how it really looks from on the outside. We've seen all the tweets from the various players of EnVyUs who are so disappointed in sort of their playing in the recent months and before that even perhaps. And so I think this is definitely you're missing RPK, you're missing the Phyllis leader Happy.
Where are they though?
It's a time to shine.
Because you see like Apex and NBK like we're looking for offers, open to options and stuff. It's just like, well, if they want to join some other team, then where are Happy and RPK? What is going on with them? Who?
I don't know. Well, I mean, MBK. From what he said, previously, it sounds like he wants to try life on an international lineup for a little bit. So he wants to exit the French scene for the moment. I think he also said that he wants to return eventually, but right now wants to try the international team. That is all I know, James. I know nothing else. That's all the things I know.
Would have been cool to see RPK playing for Mouse Sports this weekend.
Oh yeah, that would have been
Although
great.
nothing's cool as well, but just imagine RPK, that would be mad. 6-3, 1 minute on the clock. Again, Envy with a big focus towards the B bomb site, and I do wonder if we are going to develop into a position where they just hit B every round until VG show them that they can do something about it.
Yeah, I think it's going to be interesting if it works this time because there's 3 players here ready to defend instead of just 2. And that's because EnVyUs haven't really applied much pressure on the map in this round. They've been really passive, just waiting around. Going to run in. Counter grenades will be raining in for the CTs, but can they hit the shots? The spray is wild from Lovey. It's a slow 2 frags, but a 2 frags regardless. One of the players goes down, but there's still 2 left. Great flick from Sixer deals the damage to take down 2. The bomb site's clear. 15 seconds to plant the bomb. No smokes for cover. Got to get that plant going in by Coffins. He'll get the plant going indeed. The bomb has been set. And Sixer goes straight to the corner, the back corner, the dark corner of the site. Emo, as some call it. And the AWP is very strong in this position. It's critical that VG are able to attack this together for the trade. Sixer looks for the clutch, whiffs the shot through the fountain. May get another opportunity here. His health is not too great at the moment as he looks for the next engagement. Switching to the pistol, I have no idea what exactly that was. Attacker with able to attack a helpless opponent.
Yeah, no nades, nothing. Superior angle. You saw some concern about jumping onto barrels, but
he panics, man.
Switching to the pistol, yeah, I think there was some panic there. I mean, you can just unscope pretty quickly with the right click. It's not like they don't know where you are, which is a shame. for Envy, but it's great for VG. They had 3 people over towards the B bomb site to start with, and they managed to at least finish things off. Now, from a monetary perspective, things are not fantastic for the CT side. They will be under pressure now, but it is their round to win as much as it is Envy's. An AWP onto both sides. Scream making some fast plays, and you would think he would catch Summer off guard, but no. Summer delivers a kill, and he has not been touched. That's a bit rare for Scream, but there we go.
Yeah, I'm still thinking about the XMS situation there. He did so well to get himself in that position and falling at the last hurdle.
Sixer, you mean?
Sixer, sorry, yes, sorry, Sixer. Yeah, but that's kind of Sixer, you know, like it. I think one of the reasons why we saw him leaving the team. I think they got Kiyashima in. Was the fact that you generally saw more panicked performances when it came to the big stage. Online could be quite good, but the inconsistency I think for an AWP player is hard to deal with on a professional circuit. That is an unfortunate miss from Summer. He'll be able to remedy the situation had you really wanted at him. And, well, he'll get what he deserved, perhaps. Summer will take him down with ease. Kiyashima now turns his attention, but he's just moving straight into the AWP. There's a smoke down. There's a pretty big gap. I mean, you'd be surprised that the gap was not called by Hadji. Because it looked as though Kiyashima ran in unsuspecting of that gap in the smoke, and Summer takes full advantage. They are just feeding him at the moment. He's on for the ace. He'll get taken down through the wall by Sixer. Unceremonious defeat. And now Sixer's got to go for the clutch again. He's got a player right below him, right to the right. There's flashes all over the place. He's going to have to be absolutely perfect. 2 whiff shots. I don't think he's going to be able to make it happen now. And indeed, he'll go down. Attacker makes his way forwards. And Sixer will experience the butt of his rifle. But yeah, this was a very uninspired round. And I think we saw some lack of communication here. Kiyashima should not be running, like, Hadji knew that there was a gap in the smoke, which is why I think that he pushed, because he saw the gap, the shot was whiffed, and he's like, well, I can push now, and that's fair enough. But then Kiyashima obviously clearly didn't see that, have that information. There was a gap in the smoke there.
Yeah, and he had the bomb as well, which compounded the issues and took the choice away from the remainder of Envy after losing the bomb exposed to the AWP. There were some grenades on the remainder of the players, but I mean, sometimes you will prioritize time and position, because obviously if they wait for grenades, then CTs may be rotating, who knows. And that's if there was a flashbang. Hadji making plays out of the balcony, but that one was easy for Freeman to deal with. Quick 5 versus 4 in favor of VG. Again, all of Envy, they're not trying to overcomplicate things with too many fakes. The whole team is here deploying the grenades. There is an exchange on the site itself. Shokin coming in though with a fast 2K, make it a 3K, running out of bullets. There's nothing left for the last man. Now Lovey's coming in towards the library position. Kiyashima is spotted, making his way over towards the pit. One would assume that Kiyashima sees Lovey as well. But now he has the advantage of the pit. Lovey seems unsure as to where he might have gone though, but you did see him run towards the left, but there we go. It is the graveyard position. Great performance though from Shokin after losing the site in such a fashion. I was going to say, you're not really seeing the timing of players coming out of the balcony with flashbangs and so on. That's not too hard to time with a person top mid from the likes of Envy. They've got 7 rounds though, so they're doing reasonably well, and they've broken the money of Flash. You can see the money being spent. This is a force buy for the CT side. Lovey with a Mag 7. And 4 CZ-75s, limited smoke grenades. They do need to buy themselves some time here. They've gone for, a lot of them, well, 2 of them have gone for full armor as well. They've got helmets, Attacker and Freeman. And I would have liked to have seen a more inspired play with smoke grenades, because I don't think either of them had a smoke. But they both could have collected one and done the kind of thing that you see Astralis do on an eco. Envy lost 2 players now. Hadji and Kiyashima have been dropped. And perhaps there is a weapon to be collected by these Flash players.
Attacker seemed a bit greedy going for the extra frag there. I wonder if that's going to end up punishing his team. Ooh, Shokin goes straight for the smoke with the CZ. And it seems as though the numbers will just be good to go. Those CZs with the fast movement speed allows the players to dynamically get themselves very quickly into the action. Now Six is alone again. He's alone in a cold world.
I wonder at this point, I mean, if he picks up the AK, he concedes his position, which is probably why he's still got the AWP. Because 1 versus 3 with a sniper, pushing a site, going to be a problem. Can gamble, rotate, and hope he can get into B. But 30 seconds, he needs to speed up somewhat. He's got a P250. If someone's on the B bomb site, by the time he gets there, he won't have time to clear the site and plant the bomb. So 20 seconds, if he is going to do it, you can see he doesn't really have time to be doing this. Because if someone, well, where Lovey is now, as soon as he tries to plant the bomb, there's like no way the bomb is going down. Well, he's got a bomb down, but again, it's one of those weird situations, and a lot of people will do that where they spend all the time clearing the site, and then they try and plant, and it's just, with that time on a clock versus 3 players, there should be at least 1 person next to the B bomb site. So if you don't find him, I don't know. I mean, it's not a perfect situation, but I think that you have to. It's
like any clutch situation. You have to just decide. You just have to take a gamble and just commit to that 100%. And if you're trying to commit to a play where you can win the rounds, as you say, like you just have to gamble that they're not going to be close. And if they are, then you can somehow react. Because as you say, like if you can't account for every option, you just don't have the time. You have to take a gamble.
Like one of those points is, be it clearing the B site, clearing construction, clearing CT. One of those things has to be skipped. Otherwise, when it comes to planting the bomb, you are going to be very, very exposed at the very least. And maybe you have to accept that. But especially in that time situation, there has to be someone there to stop you. EnVy now on the pistols, and we have 2 rounds left in the first half. I do wonder who is at the advantage here, but we don't know what kind of T side we're going to see from Flash, and in this particular situation, perhaps the CT side will be kinder to EnVy than the T side, excuse me.
Can't believe you've done this. I can't believe you've done this. Pistols make their way up to top mid. There's a party awaiting. Party of bullets. There's some bullets. You have some bullets, and you have some bullets. This is incredible commentary. Now, they've managed to gain some forward positions, EnVyUs, with the pistols, but now they need to continue forwards, and to do so, they have to continue fragging. 2 more players to go. Is Attacker is playing very defensively on the site with his buddy Freeman, and Hadji will make his way around. So positionally speaking, EnVyUs are not looking too shabby. Now, it's interesting. I like that we're seeing VG.Flash just chilling. They're just chilling at the moment, not going pretty crazy rotations, but now the rotation has to start, and it is. Attacker's alone. He's got to somehow do this by himself. Oh, that's looking good so far. He is holding them at bay for a time. There's a lot of delay there. The rotation will be coming in. They can't stop the bomb from going down, but Attacker did buy them some time successfully. Shoking in from quads. Lovey in from library side. It's going to be very tough to deal with. In goes the deep flash onto the pit position. That's a great Molotov, and that will create a situation where Hadji will be fragged, but unfortunately, Shokin was lost in the process. 6 bullets to go, only 1 able to be fired. His Scream finishes the round off for EnVyUs. There's 8 now for EnVyUs, and they look pretty good for 9, considering that the money is all but gone for VG.Flash. We've got the full AKs in tow there for the EnVyUs side as well. So a lot of interesting and close rounds here from both sides. Again, I did like how, because there's many ways you can play it, but I like how we saw VG just holding 2 to a bomb site, and because we saw EnVyUs hold the pace. They stopped, they pressed the hold position button, and they decided that they would wait for a response, maybe try to bait a rotation, but VG didn't give it to them, and they had a really good opportunity on the defense. But into the next round, we'll see the ill-equipped VG fighting for banana control, vying as desperately as they can for it. But you can see the utility advantage is going to be fatal for the VG players on B. And they're going to start rotating players to B, and EnVyUs have not really made a call as to where they're going just yet.
Attacker, last man to drop on the A site, and the last two players are gambling. Freeman makes his way towards B, and they realize, oh, maybe it's A. And now they're going to go one per site. I think you've got to gamble. Ooh, someone's picked up an AWP actually, so that's interesting. But Freeman is still on a PC50, so he needs to find something. And now you wonder what the best options are. There's often not just one way to play things, but Freeman alone towards the A site with a P250 versus 5 Ts. I don't know if there's value in playing together. But he's got the information, and now someone's moving down to the bottom of mid, trying to make a play through the smoke, but there are so many players alive that there's no need to leave any gap here for Envy. Now they know where someone is coming from with the AWP. They'll drop a flash in mid and just make life harder for him. Player towards the balcony, keeping him honest, and it will be a double peak at very least, with Haji making a play through the smoke, and that will be that. 9 rounds for Envy, 6 for VG.Flash Gaming.
Yeah, I'm really curious how VG's T side will be, because I mean this is always been a map where the Chinese teams have felt comfortable. Inferno is just one of those maps where you should sort of expect that everybody can play it, and it's almost kind of remiss if a team is not able to do just the basics, to a good degree on this map. And it's not just because it's Inferno and it's because it's been in the map pool forever and so much data on it. It's never really left the map pool. It's because the basics are pretty easy on the T side. Like the CTs, it's difficult for them to get information. That's why Banana is so important. And now the CTs have struggled even holding onto the apartments as well since the changes. So we'll see a great start from the Chinese team as they make their way forwards. We've got a 5v3 situation. The French are in trouble.
Scream making his way over towards the B bomb site where Kirishima lies in wait. 3 versus 5. This can easily go back in favor of Envy. Such is the nature of a pistol round. Summer, though, has got 2 flashbangs and a smoke grenade. He's looking for a flank on Banana, while Freeman is having a look towards A. I think he will emerge through Yaps. Now, in this situation, VG can wait for Freeman to have a look towards A to see if anybody's there, but he hasn't really committed. He went to the balcony, but didn't really look at it properly, so they will move into where there are 2 people rather than the one on the B bomb site. 6 is being picked off by Freeman, who's now going for a late flank, leaving Kirishima alone in construction. 4 versus 1, pretty good spot to be in. Kirishima maybe not expectant of the flank, but Freeman has made his way all the way through, and as a last man, he's pushing construction on his zone. Trade will come in eventually, and that is the round for VG.
Sometimes the USP just does not agree with you. Sometimes it doesn't agree. So the force buy from EnVyUs. Let's see it. Let's see the CZs. There we go. Yes. Yes, there we go. 3 CZs, 6 CZ, but no Kevlar. Everyone else, though, with the Kevlar. All 6 are actually purchased a smoke grenade, actually, last second. Left with $750 in the bank. Obviously, he's the guy that will be purchasing the orb first for EnVyUs, so he's going to try to hold on to some money. And
he'll be AWP, no Kevlar.
Yeah.
On train, that could prove dangerous.
On train?
On Inferno, sorry, what am I talking about? I guess he can play passive arch or library. If he goes top mid or banana, there's a fair chance he gets blown to pieces.
Yes. Well, we'll see about that. Playing really passively, VG. I do wonder how susceptible they'll be to being smoked off. We'll see if they play too scared. It seems all too common that can be the case, that the team will just be too afraid to make a move. And this is one of the ways you can open stuff up, because whenever someone has a Mac 10, they are just not fearless. They are fearless. Mac 10 equals fearlessness. That's what it is.
With their positions in top mid, I would like to see them drop the jump, throw, smoke to smoke off the library position, which would allow them to choose to wrap, but they're choosing to quietly move in. This is actually something that iBuyPower used to do back in the day, and some other American teams. They'll just put loads of people through the arch position and just walk on an anti-eco or anti-force buy, essentially in this fashion, which works out quite well for them. So that's pretty cool as well. They played patience. They contained with a player on Banana, who also got a kill. So yeah, some vintage Western strats coming out from VG.Flash.
Yeah, and some of the advantages to walking Arch as well is that if you're hiding with the CZ, like if you clear top mid and there's still CTs towards A, it's probably pretty likely that they're going to be playing in the site itself and Graveyard or the pit position. And if you think of the two spots you can attack that from, which would you rather attack from? Would you rather attack from quad or porch or whatever your call is for it, or would you want to attack from Arch? Well, the Arch is way stronger because if they're in the site, they're completely exposed. If they're in the graveyard position, you have so much area for your teammates to help peek with you that you can take them down. And the same with the pit position. Everything becomes way easier. It's why pushes through quad alone rarely are ever successful, because the positions for the CTs are so incredibly strong with no flank around the Arch side to support it. So 8-9 is the score for VG Gaming at the moment. They are climbing back, and another pistol round for EnVyUs, which means that they will likely equalize. And we are going to have a close game.
Kyoshima with his Deagle and his Zama from the previous round. He didn't opt to try and risk the Mac-10. Chose to prioritize what he was already carrying. One flash to rule them all. He may get one player spotting mid before he throws that flash to make sure one person is caught. Very slow starts from VG, not wanting to make a mistake. And again, Lovey is harassing towards the B bomb site. Hasn't seen anybody just yet, but he can't, he has to be careful about going too far. One player spotted, two players spotted. Shoking comes out of the boiler position to support his teammate. In the meantime, Lovey still asking questions towards the B bomb site. And he has attracted the last fly to be swatted in Kyoshima. Final bullet will yield him a kill. Now, do they hunt for him? VG, he has a Mac-10, and they have AKs to lose. But he'll be finished off in the AK for him.
That was brave from Freeman. He has 8 HP. If Kyoshima is just holding an angle but the car, he's just dying there. That was very brave. That's 9-9 is the score.
Sixer hasn't bought yet. There we go. Not sure if he was contemplating or just a late buyer, but there it is. He's naked, and he has the AWP.
No Kev.
So where's he going to go? He is going to peek top mid. Cheeky boy. But a flashbang will force him away. Back to that passive arch position, which is more expected. Screen playing next to the boiler position for the time being, and the smoke has been deployed in top mid. So
this is kind of this could be a really big problem for EnVyUs because they've burned a lot of their utility straight away. This is a round where they couldn't start it with much utility. I hope that VG recognizes this and just retakes Banana for basically for free, because that's what they can do. They can take it for free. They can create presence there, and that creates a really horrible position for EnVyUs because EnVyUs threw a lot of utility and then just completely abandoned the position. So I honestly don't know if that's the best way to handle this, because that doesn't do anything for you. And it does allow VG just to go back there in the mid round and have loads of time to clear it. So it's and now they're just sitting in the B bomb site with 0 information, and EnVyUs sitting in the A site now with 0 information. Right now, in this round, VG can do whatever the hell they want, and EnVyUs will have no idea. That said, EnVyUs are realizing that information is a problem. It looks like they're going to try to get some info on top mid by quad, but will that be fast enough to stop or understand how to stop this B push?
yeah, Sixer has moved into position looking top mid. Then you see the rotation accordingly, but will it come in fast enough? XMS falling to the low side and lighting up for him. Scream star one as well. And Scream continues to frag, leaving Attacker alone. Well, those all through the smoke. Scream charging through now. Takes him out, leaves Attacker on the coffins. 3 players surviving, and now Sixer can buy some armor with his AWP.
I think EnVyUs are pretty fortunate there. I like that they went for the info play at the timing that they did. That was really good. They got the rotation started in a decent timing. So that was important. But at the same time, I think they were definitely fortunate that, yeah, look at that perfect spray. He just gets 2 free kills through the smoke. That is pretty brutal. You don't see that happen so easily like that usually. So Very fortunate round, honestly, for EnVyUs. I think VG played it pretty decently. They could definitely have left a lurker around the A side of the map. I think that would have been a nice adjustment. But we'll see the pressure on Banana once again. This time EnVyUs have more utility to do this with, so they can actually hold on to this position if they want to.
That is quite the push from XMS with the MP9. But there's no fast aggression here from VG. And I wonder if that will be telling of the half that we may see from VG here. They have to make sure they mix it up and are not so predictable. Banana secured by EnVy now, but look at the numbers of Flash. Now EnVy, you won't expect an early flank here in mid because you never know what's around the corner. And VG will play on that and have the whole team coming towards this A side, but Scream is delivering once again. There's a third kill for him. Time to reload as well. And if they want to punish, they've got to push through that smoke on the balcony or someone coming in from the back from the arch position. And now Attacker can play the slow lurk on the balcony, but not too slow because you've got that rotation coming in into apartments now from one of the B players in this 3 versus 2. Oh
man, the Molotov being thrown too early there. That's a big problem because had that Molotov actually landed, then they can try to push and get that 1v1. Create a 2v2, get some good positioning. That said, that could work also. Going back around the apartments, finding another kill, but Hadji still defending from the pit position. And it seems as though that will end up being too strong. And indeed, great effort by Scream. Just, you know, the perfect timing from Scream on the smoke, first of all. And you can see that, you know, he's got some easy, like some good fragging situations. I don't want to call it easy because, yes, you know, they're running and you can catch them. But it's all about how the speed at which you are able to kill them, and then how quickly you can transfer to the next players. And he was able to get 3, so that was a really good effort. And that will, I mean, considering that EnVyUs only survived with 1 player in the end, you would actually, I think, you know, VG did well after that point to have a chance at even winning the rounds. And they're going to be stuck on a pretty poor buy now.
Last round of the first half.
Oh no.
What am I talking about? I'm in cuckoo land at the moment. Pistol rounds. It's not a pistol round either. What am I saying, Dan? I don't know what's going on. There are some pistols. That's what I'm trying to say here for Flash. It's not an ideal buy, but they have a man advantage. They've picked off 2 players early, Sixer and Scream, top mid, leaving Hadji alone towards the B bomb site. They are entrusting him while that smoke is up. Sixer throwing a pop flash towards mid for Scream to peek. They see nothing there, and that's enough for Sixers to start rotating. He's rotating on Speedway, though, and Freeman is really in the corner of the sandbags, which means that he can hear Sixers' rotation, and because of that, the teaser's starting to move. That is solely because Sixer went through Speedway instead of round the back way of CT, the long way. There's a reason people choose that route, and he has forced the rotation, but now he's gone back. So unbeknownst to him, he's caused the rotation to where they are now going to have 2 of their 3 players. But will it be enough? Is Freeman going to make a play on B in the meantime? He's still standing in the corner while VG.Flash move up short.
Yeah. Oh, Sixer does manage to catch one, but Scream goes down straight away. The bomb is down as well. How much time can be bought by Sixer as Kiyoshima deals with the lone player towards the B bomb site, creating a 2v2 retake. I love he's on 1 HP. Sixer with the AWP though. Well, no matter. I did wonder if Sixer tried to actually bait them with that run through Speedway, because he then started walking back through Speedway straight away. Oh my God, Hadji just suicided. He just crated, I think. I think he tried to, oh, Lovey, sorry. I think he just tried to jump into the pit, and now Attacker's going to go down.
Oh, not like this.
He must have tried to jump into the pit or something. How can you even crater?
I've got to see a replay of that.
How do you even it can only have been jumping into the pit, right?
I'm not sure who's more awake, if it's me or Lovey.
Yeah, look, there's his body. He tried, oh my God. I think he tried to shoot the bench like you missed it, mate. Oh man.
Well, yeah, I mean, if you guys are watching on the radar, then you will have definitely learned an important lesson there about your rotations towards the B bomb site. I mean, if there's an execute coming in, obviously you go as fast as you can. But if not, if you think there's time, then you have to go around the long way, because if somebody is in that corner behind the sandbags, they hear people running on Speedway, and that did cause the rotation. So I think VG.Flash were unlucky in that respect, but also. There are 2 schools of thought, right? Freeman, he just lurked in B pretty much the whole time, but I think once the team had rotated, it might have been worth him trying to make a play to potentially pull a player out of position, if not towards the B bomb site entirely.
Yeah, it's a harsh time, isn't it, for VG at the moment? They've got to try to find a way back in there. Their money's not going to be great. At least this round, you know, you can pretty much give EnVyUs that 14. So, oh, nice flash, but attacker's ready for that one. I guess it's hard to perfectly flash that. And now Sixer really hit. There is some pressure on him to hit this shot. Oh, nice! That's an important one. That's going to equalize. Another fight taken by Summit around Arch side, as I believe Kyoshima wins, or a fight is, or another all frag actually from Sixer. My mistake. So now there is really not that much left here on the T side to try to win this round.
Yeah, and they may have to go for elimination because the bomb is very deep in T apartments. In fact, it seems they just realized and Lovey's run to go and collect it. 2 versus 4. Actually, elimination would be hard because you'd expect some of the players to be on the other side of the map. So 25 seconds, there is still room. It's a 2 versus 2, essentially, with Kyoshima and XMS on the B bomb site, but they're really playing it slow. There's a smoke grenade, trying to bait, trying to find the information. There it is. Looking for attacker, but he's in the same position. Easy frags for Envy. Well, the first one wasn't so easy, but Sixer delivered for sure. 13-9 in favor of Envy.
This is a really good round from Sixer. He gets 3 kills. This is the re-peek into middle. That's a beautiful kill. But also this one here. Those shots are hard to hit because you don't know that sometimes whether you should just shoot, because it's very difficult even for the Ts. It's actually like a random element for the Ts to know how far they're peeking into your scope, and whether they're just peeking with like a pixel, or whether it's like or whether they're giving you a better peek, and whether they're going to re-peek again, or like that whole dynamic can be quite difficult sometimes. You see the professionals are very good at consistently hitting those shots, but in a pressure situation, it can be tough.
Yeah, he had a pretty good angle though. Like it's easier, maybe not easy, but it's easier when you're closer with an angle as nice as that for Sixer. So you might even see some of their chest before they see him. There was a brief technical pause for VG, which has been resolved now and we're back into the game. But with Envy 3 rounds away from the first map, VG only have pistols to offer in this round. The odd person with Kevlar. Attacker's got full armor with his CZ. Got position of the apartment. Not afraid to show it with some sound, but it's not a big deal. Now Sixer has rotated from short to long, but this time he's missed his shot. And now the site can be split. They've got the numbers here, VG. So this might be difficult for Envy if they can get that pick onto the pit, but they can't. Shokin gets picked off. Yeah,
really good long-range shot with the AK from Haji. His stream also holds onto the side. Just quick little tidy 180 towards Moto. And, oh wow, the USP actually finds the kill. Attacker last man standing, the 1v2 as he goes in against Haji and Scream. He will not be successful. That is the 14th round there for EnVyUs. They're looking like they're good to close down Inferno pretty soon, as the money is not in the best place here for VG.Flash. Oh, actually, I can't read. I need some glasses perhaps because they have AKs and full grenades. So
they made that expensive as well for Envy.
Take that back.
You got more kills than you might expect in that round, especially after picking off the AWP on Arch. So if VG are to win this round, then it will be an interesting situation. Envy may force up because 2 people could buy. But let's see what happens. 9-14. Freeman on the AWP. Rest of the team, never mind, he's been picked off. And Scream continues to move down the mid area like it's an anti-eco round. Has he been heard by the player on the pit though? He has, but he hasn't quite done the job there. Maybe a bit of hesitation. Teammate comes in as a flash goes high. And it's a 3-on-3 all of a sudden. This is turning into absolute madness. And maybe Sixer can slow things down with a smoke towards top mid. But as you can see, Haji is now in T apartment. So Kyoshima knows that there is only a few places where Flash could be. But it seems they've picked the right option by walking up mid.
Oh, attacker's going to be... Oh, hello! Oh, wow! Yeah, he kind of double... He had a double take there to actually end up getting the kill. Oh dear, this is not looking good now for EnVyUs. They're in a lot of trouble. Six is going to go straight through the smoke. That's a good read. That's a really good read. And if you are actually able to perform that, you actually are good to just keep going, and he knows that as well. Oh no, that could have been the shot. Kyoshima has an AWP as well. That's not really the best retake situation. 4 players left, 3 of which have AWPs. Awkward.
They've got a kit on Sixer. Can they bank on Flash making a mistake? Jumping around, that's one jump too many. This is not Super Mario Brothers. And that will leave Kyoshima alone. That is a wall-bangable position. Seen a last tick headshot from NBK, which you can find on my YouTube. Somebody hiding in that area. But there we go. They can't do anything about it. Kyoshima, it's important he holds on to this AWP because it means that 3 people have a buy now. So we'll see if they can drop something to some of the other players. But that is Flash onto double figures. Do not count them out of Inferno just yet. Will they expect more rifles around this AWP though? But let's see, Envy haven't touched their keyboards just yet, so will they force around this AWP? They've got a 4-round advantage, so I would expect so, and indeed they will. 4 AKs and the sniper rifle onto Summer. So we'll see how they deal with this. Because of the weaponry on Envy, we may see some erratic, if you will, behavior from this CT side. Got 2 players, the CZ and the MP9, looking at close quarters engagements. Deagle can be either or. And of course you've got, well, the AWP onto Kiyashima. I don't know if this is a spawn-based play or what, but he's, maybe just because they don't have all the weapons in the world, he'll be holding an angle off of the front of the B-bomb site. With XMS holding a flash for him, I presume. Sixer doesn't really have the best range in the world to be behind the wall with an MP9. He has support for now for his teammate on Arch, but that may not play out so well for him.
This is a pretty rough spot for Kiyashima, honestly. It's a cool off angle, actually. I mean, you can see that's going to be a frag. That was what the frag he was playing for. That was really nice. And he falls back. If he gets another one, this could work out, actually. It was a flick that misses, but he's still alive. Still doing damage. Another flick comes in. The barrels will be occupied, but there's just simply not enough players here. It seems like enough damage has been done, and EnVyUs will move to game points. And that was pretty scary. Really not, again, like, that was a really cool off angle from Kiyashima, honestly. Really like that.
You've got to know a better way to smoke CT, because he was shoulder picking like that, but some people, I mean, you know they've got an AWP somewhere, right? So you can't necessarily go for the wide swing towards sandbags to engage somebody who might be there with an M4 or something, but I don't know. I feel like that could have been avoided. But here we are. It is match point now for Envy. VG.Flash still have a buy, but it's by no means spectacular. Lovey is in position, but who has the superior angle here? XMS not expecting a play to be there. So Lovey gets a jump on him. There is a weapon to be collected. In the meantime, Haji, oh, he's running out of bullets! And he's going to get traded as well. 3-on-3, and there's action all over the site.
Yeah, there's 2 orbs that do remain on the EnVyUs side, and that, again, it makes things a little bit awkward. VG.Flash deciding to double back out of the apartments, though, in towards top mid. Will they go back towards B, or what are they going to do here? They've got loads of time. Here comes pick. Sixer on the peak. There's the trade. Can't get the follow-up, Sixer. But maybe Scream can. He's going to turn around. He's been great from this position. They're going to line up. He's going to finish things off. Nicely done by Scream. 16-10. Things did get a little bit heated, a little bit scary here or there for EnVyUs, but they'll manage to close it down in the end.
That is one map out of the way for Envy. I think each map is going to be a struggle for them this week, which is fine and understandable. The next map is going to be Cash, and if it goes all the way, it's going to be Dust 2 as the last one. So we will head to a break. Once we're back, a nice open map of Cash. French teams on Cash. Don't miss it.